But of course, how to know which one of these index is the better one? What I did was to ask people, because it's something subjective, why not to ask the opinion of the people. Then I prepared a web poll that was addressed mainly to people from the center, but also people outside of the center, from people working with facilitators and for people that doesn't work with facilitators at all. And I made mainly 3 questions. First of all, how much interpretable is each of the knowledge bases? You can give me a number for the interpretability. Also, what is the interpretability ranking? Can you make an order with all these 12 knowledge bases? And the last question was trying to know the opinion of the people about which aspect they consider that are the most interesting when you need to issue interpretability. If we go to the first question, first thing is I send the poll to more than 60 people and finally I collect only 26 answers. So you know that it's difficult to engage people to make these kind of things. And also after making the experiment, I know that the poll wasn't perfectly well done, in the sense that it was really long and very difficult, in the sense that you need to go comparing all of the 12 knowledge bases. Then it was a big effort for the people making the poll. That's why maybe I didn't get more answers. But also because there are some psychological aspects, like when you try to get a number, you need to make a comparison of what you have with a reference. And in this case, there is no clear reference in order to see this is really low interpretable, and now you compare your knowledge base and give me this is much more interpretable than this one. And usually people what they do is to make a qualitative comparison. You take 2 of the 12 knowledge bases, you look at them, and you can say this is more, less interpretable, much more interpretable, or not. Then, when I was to analyze the second result, the result from the ranking, I collect all. Then the people who answer the poll, they usually don't give me a number of interpretability, but they usually give me the ranking. And again, if you try to look for the 26 answers of people, what I get were 24 different answers. But again, go to the subjective of the problem, or the subjective of the task. Of course, there are 2, the first and the last one, that are the same, that my own answer and the answer of Fluid. This is could be expected, since we worked together, I was painting my ideas about interpretability and so on. But what wasn't so expected was that other 2 guys, like Gonzalo and Arnaud, gave exactly the same answer to the poll. Well, people living in the same flat maybe have also some interesting problems. But also have in red the other answer of people in the center, from a enunciante that was here in that time, Chica, Angela, etc. And you can find that there are a lot of differences and a lot of shooting in detail. But again, it's not simple to say one ranking is better than the other. Because everyone, I give a small instruction and the people do what they consider that was the better one. For example, something that is really strange, here you can see the ranking given by here is really relaxed, because there's 2 and 12 are more or less the same, 4, 6, 8, 10 are more or less the same. This maybe you don't get many effort, no? But there is something more strange with the answer of Anna, because for example, the knowledge base number 8 is usually at the beginning, and for her is almost at the end.
Es muy complejo.
This is something very strange. But it proves that it's very subjective task, and it's very difficult to get an index that is adaptable to every user. Well, and if we make a comparison of this ranking with the ranking provided by the 5 fuzzy index, only one of them, the index defined by myself, the fuzzy index, with one of them. But this is not my ranking. My ranking was the first one. This is more strange also. I define the fuzzy index, but the ranking provided by the fuzzy index is different from the ranking provided by myself. This for me is really strange. Well, this is some comments. Again, the idea that there are a lot of subtle details, especially when two knowledge bases are quite close, it's very difficult to decide if one is more or less interpretable than the other. And these are also some interesting comments from people that answer the poll. And give me, for example, this first one is like how to make the analysis in a kind of hierarchical reason. In the sense that I realized that usually what people do is trying to look for a criterion that can distinguish between two knowledge bases. If you first look to the number of rules, and the number of rules is very different, you have 2,000 rules against 20, it's clear that one is much more interpretable than the other. This is the usual reasoning from people. And when this factor gives you some similar result, it's not clear if one is better, is more or less interpretable, then you look for a second criteria, and you are adding more or less criteria according to the similarity of the two knowledge bases. There was also comments regarding the number of inputs, regarding the number of input by rule, and the long of the rule base number of rule, and also an interesting comment regarding the kind of word, the kind of linguistic term that we are using that must be in the context of the problem, because otherwise it's impossible to understand anything. Also regarding to the rule-based structure, because I select one specific rule form that was the one I was using, but obviously there are other models, other rule structure, and for some people there are structure more interpretable than the one I was using. Also, again, the question that it's difficult to give a number and it's easier to make a qualitative comparison of the knowledge bases and to give a ranking. And the question that the knowledge bases were quite similar and was difficult to make up. And this was what I was looking for when I defined the 12 knowledge bases, that there was a lot of similarity. Well, regarding once we have seen what's done, what remains to be done. Again, there are definitions in the literature of interpretability, but still, like I told at the beginning, there is a big confusion between the different terms that are used when you talk about interpretability. That is very important, the idea of human interaction. You need to focus on interpretability, to model your system, thinking of interpretability since the beginning. If you want that your system is very interpretable by the user, but looking to the point of view of interpretability, that would be better according to the problem, the context, and the situation that you are going to work. The main problem and the reason why there is no universal index widely accepted for the people for mission interpretability is the subjectivity of the mission. It's really subjective tasks, almost impossible, and this is proved by the poll that there are all different answers. And the problem of how to explain the system behavior, that is very important, and again, it's something. As a new challenge, my idea is to define a new interpretability index, maybe not in the line that I was at the beginning when I defined the hierarchical fuzzy system to measure interpretability, because this was the idea of obtaining a numerical value with some linguistic terms and detail. But I think that it's more important to try to look for a way to compare different knowledge bases, to get rankings, to get qualitative relation of order between knowledge bases more than giving a number. Because finally, if you say this knowledge base has an interpretability of 0.25, what means 0.25? It's impossible to understand the meaning of this value. It's not very useful. The useful thing is the qualitative comparison and to be able to make a ranking, to make selection. From the idea of the design point of view, and here there are a lot of things related to the complexity of the linguistic expressions that appear in the rules, and that's why I think that maybe applying computing with words and applying computing with perception, because you are perceiving how people perceive the interpretability of the system, will be useful.